SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Toyota of Brookhaven has been voted best new car dealership in Southwest Mississippi 4 years in a row. Come see the difference. Exit 40 Brookhaven or online at toyotabrookhaven.com. Great service, great savings. At Toyota of Brookhaven, we deliver.
Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Clark.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning to you. How you doing? Wednesday morning, a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous. And once again, absolutely too hot. Yeah, it's not a surprise exactly, is it? High today of 97 with the heat index up around 105. We do have a little tiny chance of rain, about a 20% chance for this afternoon. That goes up to a 60% chance tonight with a low of 73. Then tomorrow the rain shall most likely come. An 80% chance of rain, heavy rainfall possible, a high of 91. I think all in all, it's going to be a pretty good day tomorrow. 80% chance tomorrow night, 40% on Friday. Going into the weekend, going to be a little bit cooler down in the low 90s. Saturday, sunny, but a high only around 94. The rain chance, a slight chance at least, comes back for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And we need it. Just your friendly reminder right here, we are under a burn ban in Pike County. One thing that I didn't really talk about yesterday when we discussed this that I want to make sure everyone understands. We talked about the fact that it's a $700 fine if they come to your house to put out a fire that you have lit in a burn barrel, in anything, basically. There's only one group that gets to decide when the burn ban is lifted. Only one organization. It's Pike County Civil Defense. Until they say the burn ban has been lifted, the burn ban has not been lifted. Now, I see this all the time. Oh, well, we've had plenty of rain. We should be good to go now. No, you don't get to make that call. You don't get to take away a state you didn't put into place. So until the Pike County Civil Defense says, you know what, it's okay, go ahead, light them up, that's fine. Until that happens, the burn ban is still in place and that $700 fine is still on the table. So don't think just because we've got some rain coming in over the next few days, after it's rained for a day or two, you think, oh, well, obviously we're good now. No, that's not the way it works. You're still going to get a $700 fine if you light up before Civil Defense says the burn ban has been lifted. Please keep that in mind. I don't want you to have a $700 ticket. You're going to be cranky. I would be cranky. A lot of folks, that's the last thing they need. Well, it's easy to avoid. Don't set anything on fire. Of course, the big conversation kind of ties into a weather event as well. Of course, you heard Richard talking about Dolly Parton, who we lost yesterday at the age of 80 after the family is referring to it as a brief battle with cancer. She started having health problems about a year ago. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, it was a brief battle, but did get her in the end, unfortunately. Hate that. That the one person, and I've seen so many people make this comment, the one person I can think of that everybody loved. One of the few things we could still agree on in this country was that Dolly Parton was awesome. And it's a shame to lose that. Well, in case you haven't heard, Richard mentioned it earlier, out in the Atlantic, over not far off the coast of Africa, there is a tropical wave going across. They have given it a decent chance of developing. It's at 60% right now. It was as high as 70% yesterday, but a 60% chance over the next 7 days of developing into an actual tropical system. The next name on the list, Dolly. That's a little too strong for coincidence, isn't it? One last go through for Dolly. Now, I'm torn. I've been going back and forth in my head. If it forms into Tropical Storm Dolly, is it going to head straight for Tennessee, or is that the last place that we'll ever see a drop of rain out of it? I could argue it in either direction. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll let you know when and if it becomes something that we have to pay attention to. Right now, we're focused on the short-term forecast over the next 7 days. Looks like we've got a chance for a lot of rain to come through, and we will gladly accept it because, boy, do we need it. My grass in my yard, I don't know about you, it's still crunchy. It's still crispy. We've had a little smattering of rain here and there, and aside from my wife's hydrangea, which is the most dramatic plant I've ever seen in my life, if it goes longer than about 6 hours without getting water, it flops down, it droops, I'm not going to make it. Then give it a little water, and within 30 minutes, it's like, it's a beautiful day. And it's just ridiculous. Well, it's looked like a cartoon character crawling through the desert looking for an oasis for a while. She's been watering it, but it gives you a quick boost because once you pour that water on the ground, whether it be rain or from a watering can, it sucks it right down because we are so dry. The water table is low. Everything is crispy dry. It's going to take a decent amount of sustained rainfall to get us back to anything close to normal. So again, one more time. Only Pike County Civil Defense can decide when the burn ban is lifted. How you feel about the law doesn't matter because it's the law. And we all have to follow it. So keep your bick unflicked. It strikes me that I probably could have come up with a better way to say that. Oh well, it's on its way to Pluto now. Riding the radio signal. Come back, got a lot to talk about, and we will get into it right after this. North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. North Pike football brought to you by Southern Metalworks, Toyota of Brookhaven, Burton Tree Service, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Health, Fortenberry Diesel and Bond, Fortenberry Towing, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't escape in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the morning at supertalkpikecounty.com. Catch up and catch on.
And all of your ways, all you dream falls on me, it falls on me. And your beautiful sky, the light you bring falls on me, it falls on me.
Back at it again on Super Talk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Beautiful Wednesday morning. Dave Hughes here. And don't forget, we're on location this afternoon from 2 until 4 at the grand opening and ribbon cutting of the new clinic from Southwest Health Systems. We talked to Dr. Keith Speed about it yesterday. Going to have a good time this afternoon from 2 till 4. Right there, directly across from the hospital is where you can find it. You have noticed the work they've been doing for a while on that building. And according to Dr. Speed, they basically gutted the whole thing and started over. They wound up with 4 walls and a roof and said, now let's do this right. And everything I've heard, I'll get to see it this afternoon, but everything I've heard, it's absolutely phenomenal. So looking forward to that. And want to thank everyone that came out for the Lunch and Learn yesterday here at the Workforce Training Center. We had dozens and dozens of people that showed up to hear a presentation, learn some things. I had several people tell me, okay, I didn't know that. It was all true. It was all sourced. A lot of good stuff about, marketing, especially digital marketing. And a good lunch. I don't want to say who the lunch was from because that would be unfair to all the competitors of Al Dente because it was a phenomenal lunch, but just take my word for it. It was a good lunch. But that brings me into something that I want to mention because I'm seeing this a lot, and this kind of clarifies things. I don't know if I know you've noticed. I know you've noticed Facebook, all the marketing channels, the social media. Everyone's making AI flyers for their business, for a special event, whatever. That's fine. You know my stance. AI is a tool. But that brings me to the problem. You may have noticed that every one of those flyers looks very similar, if not identical. It looks busy, but the problem is when it looks like everybody else's, it blends into the background. You have to have something unique, something special. Now, I'm not against AI. You know that. You've heard me say many times, AI is a tool. If you don't know how to use a tool at an expert level, you're not going to get expert results. And that's what we're seeing with these AI flyers. I see people complain about them all the time. And that's understandable. But everything from the same lighting, the same color scheme, the same everything, that comes from going to an AI program saying, I need a flyer for this business or this event or this location with the following information. Very limited art direction. AI is a tool. As I repeatedly say, you have to direct it. You have to know how to use it. You can have the absolute best set of paints, brushes, and a canvas in the history of humanity. And if you don't know how to paint, you're not going to get anything good. I mean, yeah, you could use a Xerox machine, get something serviceable, maybe, but it's not going to be effective. And that's the point we're at with AI. You can't just turn it loose, because that's how we're winding up with the same flyer basically over and over and over for everything. There's a lot of psychology that goes into marketing. There's a lot of attention that is paid to every tiniest detail in marketing, from color selection to fonts to layout to all of that to make a flyer. When everybody does it the same way, no one stands out. And that's the entire purpose of marketing, is to stand out. So my suggestion would be, if you're going to use AI to do that, knock yourself out, learn how to use it. It is not a simple magic genie machine. You have to learn how to prompt it. You have to learn how to tell it what you want. You have to learn a little bit about flyer design, or about any kind of design, to know what you're doing and to know what to ask for. And if that all sounds like too much work, congratulations. That's why there are professional marketers out there, because there's a lot more that goes into it than people think. You've seen those. You'll see some today. You see them every day. Those flyers and those ads, they all look the same. They all have the same almost but not quite real look to them. And I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about it. Last thing you want is a big mass of people complaining about your marketing. That's not a good look. That never ends well. So just wanted to put that out there after our lunch and learn yesterday. That wasn't discussed during the lunch and learn. It's just my observation after about the fifth one passed by my eyes last night on the timeline. It hit me that it needed to be addressed. And it makes no difference to me. I have no dog in this hunt. I'm trying to help you, because you're not doing yourself the good you think you're doing. So put a little effort into learning it, learning how to operate it, learning how it works. Because, and it's not a down check. That's 90% of people with anything. We all know how to drive our car. We couldn't fix it if it went bad. That's why professionals exist. Well, especially now. Back when I was a kid, my dad had an old step-side pickup truck. It belonged to my grandfather, went down to my dad. We drove that thing everywhere. You popped open the hood, and the engine was about the size of a beach ball. The rest of the engine well under the hood was just empty air, to the point to where we would get up there, and I mean, he would put me up there because I was like 5, 6, and sit on either side of it and dangle our feet down in there next to the engine while he worked on stuff and showed me what to do. Things have changed. You've got to have a computer science degree to fix a vehicle now. It's a whole different ballgame. Same thing applies with this. Oh, that's pretty good, Ronnie. Oh, that's pretty good. New Orleans Jazz. That's what I'm talking about. They all have that same look to them. In this case, it's not marketing. It's just for fun. That's great. I love it. It's perfect. It's very well done for what it is. But you have to have some skill with it to get something that doesn't look like what everybody else is getting. Which is kind of the point of marketing. It's kind of the point of advertising. If you don't have something about your advertising that no one else can say about their business, you're missing a lot of the effectiveness that you would get from marketing and advertising. These AI flyers, great example of that. If they all look the same, nobody stands out, nobody wins. So I encourage you to spend some time and play with it. Just come up, talk to it like it's a brand new employee who struggled in school. I had to come up with a way to say it nicely. Struggled in school, has no experience, nothing. Talk to AI exactly like you're talking to that employee on their first day, and you're trying to explain what you want and why you want it that way. Over-explain. Talk to it like it's stupid. And you'll get better results. There's more nuance to it, but that alone will make a difference. Just a sentence, I don't want it to look like everyone else's flyer. Bam. You're going to get some stuff that stinks. You're going to get some stuff that's incredible. And this comes back to the experience and the skill. You got to be able to tell which one's which. So I'm literally just trying to help. Don't get a nickel out of this. But it just hurts my marketing soul when I see everyone doing this. AI is great. AI is a fantastic tool. AI is not the thing to turn loose on your business or on anything else. Oh, that's very nice, Mose. Thank you. I may steal that. I may use that. Got a thing he made saying, listen to Dave in the morning. But very well done. And it doesn't look like anybody else's. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Great job. Great job. So, moving on from that, I had to get it out because it's been bothering me. And get it out I did, and now we can move along. The meeting last night of the McCom City Board of Mayor and Selectmen. Don't have any audio for you this morning. There were several split votes. We'll go over all of it in detail later. All of those were to do with spending money. Having said that, they bought 14 police cars, which were needed. But again, I think the big focus is still on how much money we have. How much money is in the bank? We have gotten some reports saying, yeah, not much. but we don't know for sure. We don't have the specifics. We're still working through the financials from previous years because, amazingly enough, if you haven't done your books in years, what the books look like in 2023 has an impact on them in 2026. If there were things that weren't accounted for, both positive and negative. So we're going to have to wait and see. One thing I did want to look at, because we haven't looked at this in a while, it came out last week, is the sales tax diversions for July. That's the last month. Coming up at the 15th of next month, we'll get the August numbers. The July report from the Mississippi Department of Revenue. In July of last year, the city of McCom received $559,000 in sales tax diversions. This year, $566,000. It's up $7,000. It's not bad. The problem is that's close to just, running in place. And here's why I say that. Brookhaven went from $645,000 last year to $706,000 this year. Do you notice a difference? Once again, I was talking to someone yesterday who had come into town, and they went around and they cruised through downtown McComb, hadn't been down there in a while, and just kind of rode through the area, looking it over. And they came up to me yesterday and said, okay, wow, I've heard you talking about McComb and everything that you've been saying, got to see it today for the first time, and it's bad. Now, that was an unsolicited opinion. We weren't having a discussion about anything to do with it. They walked up to tell me that. That's the impression we're making. That is the image that we're giving people when they ride through McComb. I'm not even going to get into the whole curb appeal discussion. We've talked that to death, and not a lot has changed. We've passed a couple of things about civic pride. That's great, but civic pride is like morality. You can't legislate it. You can't legislate a bad person being good. You can't legislate a horrible impression into being a good one. It takes work, and it takes the right attitude from a lot of your citizenry. There's a few that are all gung-ho and working hard and good. We need those people. But unless a big group falls in line behind them and develops the same attitude, it's not going to have the effect we want it to have. And Brookhaven, I cast that in the light of the change. That, it was, $61,000 increase for Brookhaven, $6,000 increase for McComb from last year to this year. That's 10 times the return, 10 times the increase. I did want to make sure we call attention to just this year's numbers, the total. Brookhaven received $706,000 in sales tax diversions. McComb received $566,000. Brookhaven received $140,000 more from the state in sales tax diversions than McComb did. That's not a small difference. That's not a small gap. And as we have said many times, put on your play pretend hat, get off the interstate in Brookhaven, drive all the way to downtown, then turn around and come back, say to the railroad tracks, because that's a good marker for both towns. Get off the interstate, drive down to the railroad tracks, cross over, turn around, come back. Then do the same thing in McComb. This is what we're fighting. This is what we have to fix. We've got great things about McComb. Always have had. It doesn't show on first glance right now. Not knocking anything that has been accomplished or anything that has been done, but you get $140,000 more from the state in a month when you look welcoming and appealing. And we don't right now in McCom. Because I had a conversation with someone yesterday who made that trip and said, holy cow, I hadn't been here in a while. I did not realize this. I didn't know it was like this. Yeah. So the first impression is huge. Having said that, by the way, we're talking about sales tax diversions. I looked it up because you're thinking, well, McComb has a hotel motel tax. Yes. Remember, it's a $140,000 difference in sales tax diversions. Brookhaven getting $140,000 more than McComb in the July numbers. For the July numbers for the McComb hotel motel tax, last year we got $30,109 for July. This year, $28,854. That went down. And it's only $28,000. So even with the hotel motel tax added in, we're still over $100,000 less than Brookhaven. Now, am I saying we need to copy Brookhaven? Of course not. Were you listening to my AI flyer thing? You don't want to copy, but you want to be presentable. You want to have something that you're obviously offering that's visible, that you don't have to have somebody to stop and spend 5 minutes explaining why it's so great. Something where they just drive through, never roll a window down, never stop for anything but traffic lights and stop signs. They just ride through and it looks inviting. That's the difference it makes. It's in the numbers. It's in the money that comes back, the money that is spent. So that difference is over $100,000, even if you include the hotel motel tax, which is going down. I would like to point out, by the way, we have heard this several times recently in city board meetings in Macomb, that the hotel motel tax money is spoken for. Well, if that amount goes down that we get every month, it takes longer for it to pay off whatever we're using it to pay for, which means it's spoken for even longer than you think, because we've kind of treated it over the past 8 years like a piggy bank. Whatever we want to do, whatever whim we have, our heart's desire, obviously, we can just take it from the hotel motel tax. Well, that's shrinking. And that means that money has to be made up from somewhere else, whether it be the shrinking revenue from sales tax diversions, which is not incredibly accurate. We did get 6,000 more this year than we got last year. But it's not the accomplishment that you think it is. This is the kind of thing that happens after years of mismanagement. I mean, there are some areas we are shining. Crime, we're doing great. Sheriff Wally Jones, by the way, announced his re-election campaign yesterday. I don't think anyone who's looking for results, who wants to judge by results, is going to be able to figure out a way to vote against him. He has now built a track record, and it's one doozy of a track record. Been doing a great job. And that's just the start. We're about to see a lot of people announcing their candidacy for next year, because it gets earlier and earlier. It's like Christmas. You know, we have saw an announcement on a trade email newsletter yesterday. Some station, I think it was in Pennsylvania, has now already transitioned to full Christmas music 24/7. It's August. the Christmas decorations have been out at Hobby Lobby since 4th of July, a little bit before that, actually. So Christmas continues to creep further into the year. So do elections. Because you got to understand, we got the midterms. Everybody's talking about the midterms for Congress coming up in just a few months. The second the midterms are over, the next presidential election will begin. 2 years of it. And the Christmas creep phenomenon, to me, does not belong in politics, but that's what we've got. But we'll keep you updated on people as they declare their candidacy for things moving forward from here. Always good news, you know, mostly. Mostly. You know what I mean. I believe, I haven't done the math, but as a percentage, I'm pretty sure Duck Hill, Mississippi, went up more than McCom did in sales tax diversions. I'd have to work the math. They went from 3,500 to 3,900. So that's about a 10% increase. I'm pretty sure that expressed as a percentage, that's a higher increase in sales tax diversions in Duck Hill, Mississippi. Where's Duck Hill, Mississippi? Who knows? But they're doing great. It can be fixed if we have the intestinal fortitude to do it. And that's going to involve some hurt feelings. And we can't do that. Oh, yeah, we can. Built a career on it. We'll continue talking about this moving forward into the coming weeks because got to be a way to fix this. For now, though, we continue on this Wednesday morning on SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County, right after this.
Cock it and pull it, we're going down.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. North Pike football brought to you by Southern Metalworks, Toyota of Brookhaven, Burton Tree Service, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Health, Fortenberry Diesel and Bond, Fortenberry Towing, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
No one can make this better. Take control, it's now or never. Are you sick of it? Raise your hands, get rid of it. Well, there's a fighting chance. Are you over it? Bored to death? Have you had enough regret? Take a stand, raise your hands. If you're sick of it, you're sick, you're sick, you're sick of it. You're sick of it, you're sick, you're sick, you're sick of it.
Sick of what? Yes. I want to point out something that's coming, by the way. You'll see the breaking news. It's the big news story behind Dolly today. Dolly is going to be a huge story for the rest of the week, I feel, because she was just that impactful and just that universally beloved. Meta settled with the states. The big social media addiction trial. Now, a typical settlement in that they have a clause in there saying that they are acknowledging no liability, not in any way saying they did anything wrong. We're just writing a check and changing some things to make this all go away. Typical settlement language. That's the way it always works. They're making a payment of about $18 billion spread across all the states and territories in the U.S. And yes, that includes Mississippi. And you hear $18 billion and you think, oh, that's a lot. No. $18 billion spread across, well, they acknowledge 52 attorney generals from the states and territories. 18 divided by 52 is not as much money as you thought. And then you realize they kind of got off light with that settlement monetarily. Their revenue this year is over $200 billion. So, yeah, I think they're going to be fine. They might not even notice that $18 billion is missing. But the more important part, to me, and that money is to go for youth online safety initiatives in the states and other priorities, it says, which opens the gate to it being a blank check. Whatever. We're used to those games at this point. As part of the deal, Meta says that teen accounts of teenagers, would default to a setting that limits Facebook and Instagram to 2 hours a day total. And they would need a parent's permission to disable the 2-hour limit. They're going to hide the likes on teenagers' posts by default, block what it referred to as extreme makeup filters, and that teens will be able to choose a non-algorithmic feed that just shows what their friends are posting as their default. Now, there are several problems to me here. Number one, the teen can choose this, the teen can choose that, the teen can choose this. The teen is not going to choose any of that, and we all know it. But there's one phrase in here. Now, I want you to brace up, because here's what's coming. I'm going to tell you. We've seen it in other countries, over in Europe especially. This is coming. Also included in the settlement language was, quote, enhanced age assurance measures to prevent children from accessing the platform or age-restricted content available on the platform. Now, how is that going to work? Because, you're not supposed to have, for example, a Facebook account unless you're 13 or over. Same with Instagram. You got plenty of kids younger than that age that sign up. Why? How? They lie. They give a different birth date, might have the same birth day, just a different birth year to make themselves in the system old enough to join up. And then they're off to the races. There is functionally only one way to combat that. There is only one way to put into place enhanced age assurance measures. You're going to have to scan your ID in to have a social media account. That is coming. Kind of knew it would eventually, but the language in the settlement and the way they're dealing with it, and all of this money going to the states to put into place safety measures and whatnot, they're funding the mechanism. You're going to have to scan your ID in to have an account, not to post, just to access it, period. Now, I'm of two minds on this. Number one, the initial knee-jerk reaction is, I thought this was America. We have freedom. We have freedom of the press. Social media is not press, by the way, so that doesn't apply here. I've got freedom of speech. I should be able to say what I want. Well, what's your idea for keeping the kids off? If you're not going to scan IDs in, like they're doing in Europe. By the way, that's going great in England. I don't know if you've seen, they put that into place, and now people are getting arrested because they posted a meme that somebody else made, and the police are showing up at their door, grandma's door, because she posted a meme that the authorities didn't appreciate. But I said I'm of two minds of this. And you have heard me say many, many times that sometimes it takes upsetting some people and making some unpalatable choices to get things where they need to be. And if it means breaking the iron grip social media has on the young people and giving the world a chance to unbrainwash them, it might be worth it. More importantly, if you got to scan your ID in to have the account, a lot of people will go away. Most of the ones that go away are the ones that you probably didn't want to see what they were posting anyway. Not all of them. You'll lose some good people. But when all of a sudden you're kind of nailed down to what you're saying online, psychologically you realize that you're connected to it, so it kind of removes that barrier that you have mentally of, well, it's just social media, it doesn't matter. Yeah, all of a sudden it will impact you that it does, and maybe we'll see a little bit of a return to civility. Not much, but maybe a little bit. So I'm just telling you, you go ahead, brace up for it, because Mississippi, one of those 52 states and territories, will get our section of this money. If it doesn't happen on the national level, I will be surprised, especially going into an election year, if we don't hear about this in the session, putting something in place to where you have to verify your age to even have a social media account, much less be on there. Because otherwise, the rest of the restrictions, they're not really enforceable. Taking your word for it. What is your birth date? You can put in any date you'd like. You can be 500 years old if the scrolling list of years goes back that far. You could be a Civil War combatant and sign up for an Instagram account right now. Unless they make you prove that was the year that you were born. And how would you do that? So, just bracing you up for it. This is going to be the latest hot topic. This is going to be the latest thing that everybody's going to jump on. and start pushing. And in the session, come January, I will be surprised, not saying it's going to pass, but I will be surprised if we don't see something proposed as legislation in the state of Mississippi dealing with social media and online verification. And I phrased it that way because did you ever see something like this that only applied to the thing that they say it's for? No, of course not. Before you know it, you'll have to scan in an ID to go shop at Amazon. You'll have to go scan in an ID to do anything online. When it goes to that extreme, well, there's no more arguing. It'll be a bad thing. But I'm just trying to brace you up about what's coming right here in Mississippi and everywhere else, but we worry about Mississippi, and specifically we worry about Southwest Mississippi and Pike County. It'll affect you. Oh, there will be upsetness if that does come to pass. But you might want to start thinking about it now. Figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to deal with it. Having said that, a lot of people continue to post, Facebook does not have permission to use my pictures. That's useless. That's the equivalent of the old chain letters you used to get in the mail that said you had to forward that letter to 10 more people or bad fortune would fall upon you. Yeah. Those things I see shared and posted online are equally as valuable as those old chain letters. So,
If you cry for more,
well, once again, I feel like I have been a fountain of loveliness and brought good things into the world. Yes, I am self-delusional. Thanks for asking. Final break. We'll close it down next. Keep it here.
but I found it all in you. Did I save you? 'Cause I know you saved me too.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. North Pike football brought to you by Southern Metalworks, Toyota of Brookhaven, Burton Tree Service, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Health, Fortenberry Diesel and Bond, Fortenberry Towing, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the
We are done for now. But again, remember, starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we're live on location for the ribbon cutting of the new clinic where it's family practitioners right across the street from the hospital. We're going to have a wonderful time, and I want you to make sure you stop by and see us. Why does that keep playing? Why is... Where... Who said that? 2 o'clock this afternoon, here on Super Talk Pike County 93.5. My friend, I'll see you then.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.